my dream bees, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. This is our last week where we're doing one video every day up until the holidays. We're gonna keep going with our Ayurveda videos. Today, let's talk about the Pitta dosha. The Pitta dosha is going to be a powerful energy. I want us to talk about the tips and tricks to bringing this power back into balance, my key tips into finding a routine that works for you, and also the pros and cons of our digestive system when we have a high Pitta energy or a Pitta dosha. Our Pitta dosha is a composition of the elements of fire and water. Now, these are two very powerful elements here. Fire is known for creating light, for creating destruction, for being very intense, very hot. And then water is known for being very fluid, but also very powerful and intense, and can also create destruction. So when we combine these two together in the body, we are going to have a very high, intense energy. And this can be used for many good things, but also can have a lot of uncomfortable imbalances if we do not keep an eye on things. Our Pitta dosha really reminds us about being energetic. It can be those people in your life that are very intense when they talk, but also very passionate. They can be loving with all of their energy, but also very, very angry with all of their energy. So it is almost an extreme balance between being overly happy and confident or being overly aggressive and very angry. It can be those people that are your best friends, that have so much fun because they are always so vibrant, but when they're having a bad day, when they're in a bad mood, maybe we see the opposite effect, where that intensity is very dark and very negative. We're gonna have qualities in the body of being very sharp. So that can either be in the physical structure, maybe they have sharp features, maybe they just have a sharp look in their eyes, or just even their vibe is just very sharp and intense, but you can feel it and you notice it. We're gonna have qualities of hot, a lot of heat in the body. Maybe it's someone that's always warm. Maybe they're constantly sweating. Maybe someone that tends to get very red easily. They have red cheeks all the time because they're always talking with heat and energy. Those physical qualities will also be in the mind, or mentally they are very sharp. Maybe it is someone that has quick wit, always knows what to say, always has a response because they are confident and they are quick. It can also be someone that is overly ambitious, maybe overly confident. So if it helps you to think about it similar to the astrological signs, those zodiac signs that have fire in them, they might have some high Pitta dosha energy. So it's fun to learn and to look at the people that are in your lives and see if you find these characteristics. You can look into yourself, see if there's anything that resonates with you. And the more you learn, the more you get to understand people and not be as judgmental. The more you can help bring them into balance when they're having a hard time. And especially for yourself, you can just get to know all those deeper parts and know that when you're having a hard time, it is not your fault. You just need to know the right tools to get back. For Pitta dosha, the key tips that I have are finding a sense of cooling. That can be physically and mentally. When everything is always ready to explode, ready to be hot and heavy, do you take moments for yourself to be also cool and calm and collected? In the mental sense, this can be a great way to be a little bit more humble, to be slightly less energetic and less confident and less expressive with all of your thoughts and opinions. Do you take time to be silent, to be quiet, to be cool, maybe just to be chill. That can be very hard for people with a high Pitta imbalance because they really get energy from giving energy. They really do enjoy those moments of intensity. So maybe they don't take time to be calm and cool because they just don't enjoy it. Maybe they feel very uncomfortable. But it is so important to do that opposite. Like I say always in Ayurveda, you need to find opposing energies to have balance in your life. And you need to feel that. Even if it's uncomfortable, you have to challenge yourself to take time to do those things that you don't like that will benefit you in the long term. My second key tip is to start focusing on your loving energy outwards, as opposed to always directing this energy inwards. When we have a lot of fire and light, we can bring a lot of intensity towards the self, towards the I. We can be overly confident and we're not being as respectful or generous towards the outside world because we're so focused on ourselves. And I find that this Pitta energy, when it's spread towards the masses, towards your communities and the people around you, then it makes yourself feel a lot calmer and more stable as well. It is a beautiful way to use your gifts, to use your socialness. If you're someone that is very extroverted and you love people, send that love outwards in a positive way. It'll make you less irritable in social situations, not putting yourself above others, but really putting yourselves with them. Use this fire to spread inspiration, love, and light. That's going to make you feel really, really good. Remember that you must eat nutritious foods for your long term. And of course, everyone must eat good, nutritious foods, but a Pitta digestion is naturally very strong. It also might be people that are very athletic, that love to move, so they're not exactly worried about making sure their foods are constantly balanced, nutritious, and helping them. If we're not focusing on this digestion every single day, then in the long term, we're gonna have a lot of imbalances. And because the Pitta is naturally very intense, when we have imbalances, those will be very intense. How does this Pitta energy affect our digestive system? Well, we already know that our belly is going to be hot and full of fire. Our Agni in Ayurveda is our digestive fire, and it helps represent our health and vitality. So it is good to know that our fire is already going to be hot, ready to digest foods. You naturally have a strong digestion. But if you're not eating properly, you can definitely make that fire too hot too quickly. We want to eat foods that are a bit cooler, foods that are a bit dry, maybe less heavy. So that way we can keep this fire burning vivaciously, but we're not overpowering it. We're not making it too hot to the point that it's going to burn all of the nutrients as well. We don't want it to be overly fermented where it is too intense. So we can do this with foods that are sweet. That sweetness creates a calm and cooling effect. Tastes that are also bitter. Bitterness is very cooling on the digestion. And foods that are pungent. Those strong tasting greens and veggies. That pungent taste is amazing for your fire and brings so much goodness into the body. So let's find out foods that really work for you. We don't want to have too much fermentation such as beer and yogurts. We don't need that because if our fire is too warm, we're going to start to get imbalances like diarrhea, where you're not even absorbing the nutrients, your fire is just burning them down. And then your metabolism becomes slightly too quick if your fire is too hot. We need to slow things down. We want it to work regularly. We don't want it to work too much. And if you're very intense and very ambitious, maybe you're doing a lot of things in your work life and your personal life, that's going to make your digestion get even hotter and faster. And we want it to cool it down, slow it down, and just keep that fire burning bright. So ease on the spices as well. We don't need warming spices such as ginger, maybe slightly less turmeric. We don't want to have any hot sauces or hot and spicy foods because that's just going to anger our bellies. Cooling spices can be fennel, even cooling teas like a fennel tea, cardamom. We can use cumin and coriander. And the best is to use even fresh herbs like fresh ginger, fresh mint. You're really going to feel those cooling effects. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're starting to see the connections between the doshas and seeing what you relate to and what you see in the people around you. Thank you so much for listening to me. We'll be back tomorrow with our next Vlogmas video.